Bugatti revealed a few weeks ago that they were making a speedboat based off of the Chiron. But a few years ago, I made a boat based off of the Chiron, and it looks like this. Now, because it's from the depths and made out of wood, it really doesn't look that great, but if it was painted, you could see it better, and you can still get the shapes from it. It started from this picture with the color scheme, and this line right here, it kind of looks like a wave cresting and crashing into the ocean. So I took that line and put it into a boat right here. Also, the back has a couple windows and this swooping inwards and line in the middle. And also the front is kind of based off of, like, this would be where the headlights are, how it's a little bit indented from the front bumper. This is where the window would be on the door and there would be the windshield. But that's what I came up with. And it even has a W16 in this thing. Is it really likely that the Bugatti designer saw my first From the Depths video and saw that idea and designed a boat in 6 months? Probably not. What's more likely is that they're trying to reach the same audience, also give competition to the Lamborghini speedboat that's coming out, and that great minds think alike. I just wanted to point out that I did design a Chiron-based speedboat years and years and years ago, and that Bugatti's doing the same thing right now. So you guys remember the tournament that we were in? Here's the clip of that round where the prototype was fighting in it, and it kinda went kaboom. In all our testing, we have never had the entire ship just blow up instantly, and the one round in the tournament, of course, we just get instantly destroyed by something that's never happened before. Here are all the iterations of the prototype. We've kind of shown you 1 and 2 before, but we haven't shown you 3, 4, 5 in tournament. 3, we switched up the anti-air guns. We changed these torpedo launchers to be floating things attached to the docking station, so they're kind of independent vehicles and separated from the rest of the craft. And then we went away from that in the 4th one and just mounted them straight to the ship, kind of like the 2nd one. And then the anti-air, we changed that once again, and probably the biggest change with number 4 is that we got rid of the back laser and changed it to a second of the primary front guns.
On the last one, having 4 torpedo launchers like a destroyer would have.
Yeah, just little torpedo launchers. Also, there's bigger LAM system and some of the steering and propulsion. Like, we put 2 rudders in the front and got rid of the propellers on the insides because the propellers weren't working super great.
And there's the floating pack cannon that I put on top.
So this is a particle cannon. So there's kind of this big old floating arrow particle cannon above the ship. So it kind of points to where the ship is, but it also gives more weaponry and a second target for an enemy to shoot at. We added a helium area on the bottom and some ion thrusters underneath it to keep it out of the water, because it's gotten to the point where there's so much armor and weapons on it that it's so heavy that it starts sinking a little bit below the water level. And then the tournament, we have the shields on it and a couple missiles at the front. The front guns have been changed a tiny bit. They've gone from the 6 tiny barrels to 2 bigger barrels. Pretty much all the other guns are the same. The LAM system is changed up to meet requirements, and the steam engines have been changed to be very fast spin up time, because it just spawns in and then it needs to be able to move instantly. That's the prototype family. I think we're kind of done with the prototype. We're moving on to much bigger projects, which 2 are in the works. 1 is the Bigfoot, which you guys saw what it looked like in the last episode, I believe. This is the new Bigfoot. So the old Bigfoot was scrapped, and the Arrow, at least that's what I think it should be called, is this thing here. So it's a skimmer with tons of jet engines on the back. There's ion thrusters. There's all kinds of things. There's jets to make it turn. There's hydrofoils on spin blocks to make it turn. And this thing, it looks really cool, especially this glass right here. It's very sleek. It is freaking fast. Kind of like a lightning hood. vehicle.
It's going 100 meters a second.
Yeah, it's so crazy. The other little ship we've been working on recently is the Reaper. And this thing, it's kind of stupid looking, kind of jelly bean, kind of a winged just wedge. I don't even know what the shape is. It's just kind of funky looking, but it goes 48 meters per second. Right now, the Reaper, it's fitted with these cram mortars on the top, so it's kind of a support ship shooting from far away. But also on the bottom, there's a bunch of torpedoes that shoot out the bottom. And that's pretty much it with the ship. It's kind of simple. Just little cockpit on the inside here. And then the AI is kind of in the front. The ammo supply is right there. The torpedo bay is all in here, which looks really crazy and cool. And then there's the steam engines back here. And then all the cram on top. I almost forgot to show you that I made a mini version of the Corvette. The light alloy texture has changed with the new update, and I kind of like the new texture, but this is the original Corvette, which is absolutely massive. It's so big, you can't really do anything with it, so I decided to make a smaller version, so I took the same guns and put him on just a smaller version of the ship. It's about half the size, as you can see. And I also put a couple missiles on it too. So it actually has a little bit more weaponry than the original. Now it is a little bit slower than the original just because I can't fit freaking massive steam engines in it, but it's still pretty fast for what it is. And there's also a couple different vehicle spawners on it. So this one you could spawn in like a sub or a buoy or a little decoy raft or something, and this one you could spawn in a VTOL helicopter or something like that. The original cost 260,000 material. The smaller one with the same guns and added missiles is 124,000. So it's less than half the price and has more weaponry than the original. So I'd say it's a win-win. Since the last episode, the game's had a big update. First, heavy armor has been retextured. They've added in a bunch more prefabs. Prefabs have little pictures, which is super nice. Jet engines, you can duct the intakes now, which that's a really cool feature. You can make some really good looking fighter jets now. Resources, they've changed up. It's kind of weird. Everything is now material. There's no ammo, there's no fuel, but you still have to make ammo and fuel boxes to designate X amount of material to ammo or fuel. And then the refineries are to make it a global material that you can transfer to other ships. It's really weird. Steam engines, they've changed completely. And even here, they said they're going to overhaul it again. So all our steam engines are kind of broken at this point, but there's no point of even fixing them because they're just going to change them in the next update. But the one cool thing that they added is these transmission motors. So the transmission motors, you can just attach them to a propeller, and you can use a fuel engine or an electric motor to turn the steam propeller instead of a steam engine. So now you can make a fast ship using the steam propellers without using steam engines. So all our ships, we might not need steam engines anymore because gas engines or electric motors might be more efficient, possibly.
What I'm thinking is the best way to go is to have an electric engine run the propellers and then build a steam boiler for energy creation.
Yeah, because then the steam engine doesn't even have to be connected to the propeller where it can get blown up easier.
They also changed it to where originally smaller was better, just power-wise and efficiency-wise. Now they've switched it, and the smaller you go, the less efficient it is. And the bigger it is, the more efficient and more powerful it is.
Particle cannons, they've added a bunch new, you could call them mantlets for it, just a bunch of different lenses that focus on different things. Haha, focus. Funny. That's about it with what we've been doing the last month. We've been working on a few ships, and we've been busy with other stuff, and the updates come out. And a little teaser for the next episode right there. There you go. That's all you get. So, if you liked it, share with a friend, and if you want to see more like this, hit subscribe. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.